Hello and welcome back, and if you're new here, thanks for checking out this channel. You can see the weather conditions I'm dealing with. It's not too far from a gale and it's absolutely bucketing down. Everything is drenched and anything will get drenched out in the rain. I've put a shelter up, but I'll tell you why I'm here. So I'm here basically getting wet and hiding under a tarp at the moment because quite simply I'm up here to do a little bit of maintenance. I want to kill some ivy that's strangling some of the trees here, and I'm not going to remove it. All I'm going to do is cut it so the root can't provide any nutrients to it and basically in the end kill it. But I'm not going to take it off the trees. I'm going to leave what is there because that will provide habitat for other creatures, insects and things like that basically. So all I'm going to do is cut it to basically just kill it and stop it having access to its root system. So there you go, you can see what I'm talking about there. The ivy's coming up, it's going around the trunk and it's actually strangling the tree, as you can see there. I'm not going to remove the ivy because, like I said, it provides habitat. But what I'm going to do is just put some cuts into it here, not damaging the tree, but just so that the ivy doesn't get its full nutrients from its root system. So in the end, it will actually perish and die back. But even if you do that, all this here, like the kind of trunk of the ivy or the vine, will still stay on the trunk to make habitat, but ultimately it won't be killing the tree or strangling it. I'm going to actually cut up some of this old log here before it gets too rotten and just store it under a few bushes, and that will make good campfire wood for me when I come back later on when the weather is better and I want to have some fires. Right, I'm going to get a little bit of something to eat on the go. Quite simply just a pot noodle for quickness and a cup of coffee, then I'm going to crack on. Well, I actually got the inside of the mess tins quite dirty, just kicking around here, sorting myself out, and that was hence I was kind of washing it out just a minute ago. I hope I've got enough water to do the pot noodle and a cup of coffee, otherwise it's going to be a little bit miserable not being able to warm up. Well, as you can see, it's one of those days you're just going to get absolutely soaking wet, and I'm not even going to get out of waterproofs. And the mist and rain is going sideways across the paddock behind me there. It's just going sideways. So this Army Gore-Tex top doesn't actually come with a hood, believe it or not. I think that's probably because of the helmet's probably with the lip around it. The theory is the rain wouldn't run down your neck. But I do have another, well, cheaper kind of waterproof top, which I do put over the top of this. And I probably will be in that in a minute when I get out of being under the tarp. But I'm trying to just gradually, over any spare few hours, just clear this up a little bit. Not too much that anybody could really see I was doing it, but I just want to make it just a little bit more pleasant. And yeah, just look after it a little bit, hence why I'm doing this. I do have to drop a stick off to a customer later on, so I don't have all day to do this either. So, you know, make the most of it for an hour, hour and a half, back home, clean up, then out the door. Well, everybody's got their own particular favourite noodle. I like the green one, chicken and mushroom, but I get outvoted at home, so we always end up buying the curry flavour, but I can still eat it, and it is quite good eating when you're out in the field. So there you go. Get the coffee first. There. And now the noodle. Making sure I don't get any of the leaves and debris into the noodles. There, I'm done. There. As you can see, I've got my other top, and it's one I usually wear when I'm doing like DIY, being out in the garden. You know, it's a bit of an old thing, or when I'm working with a mate, you know, doing agricultural sort of stuff. But it's absolutely bleak here, absolutely bleak. It is absolutely senseless being here, I grant you that. But if I do it now, I don't have to come back when it's better weather. I can do something else. I don't really have to do this, you could argue, but I kind of want to look after it here. It kind of, like I said before, it feels special, so I just want to look after it. Coffee feels nice when you're in weather conditions like this. Everybody's got their own style, how they like to do a pot noodle, believe it or not, and I like mine quite dry. The wife likes it absolutely sodden. I think I've got mine more how she likes hers than I really like mine. But anyway, it's actually warming my hands up, it's really nice. But anyway, I'm going to eat this, drink my coffee, then we'll get out and sort this ivy out. That, clean that up. There. Job done. Yeah, so basically what we've done, we're killing the ivy, not hurting the tree, as you can see in there, no marks. But that ivy will probably stay on the tree for, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, still providing a habitat till it eventually decays and drops off. So for the next 2 or 3 years, that will still be home to animals, birds, wildlife. And we also allow the tree now to prosper. This one's a bit more complicated. It's got loads of, you know, the vine part of the ivy coming down and wrapping right the way around the trunk. So I'm going to have to make sure I get all of them. I've got one main central one wrapping up, but I've got several smaller ones going around the whole base, so this is going to be a little bit more of a job. Here's the big one. It's bouncing so much. There. There. That's done. Clean this up. There. There. That's job done. Well, after cutting that ivy on all the trees here now, I'm pretty much out of time, so that log will have to wait. Plus you can probably see I'm absolutely soaking wet now. Yeah, you know, it was only a limited time I could come out, and it's been good. I've enjoyed it, you know, and it's good to test yourself in different weathers, because I've become a little bit of a fair weather outdoors person. But here we are. I've done what I wanted to do with the ivy, and it'll give those apple trees this spring a good healthy, you know, start to their growing season, and ultimately hopefully the apple season. So yeah, I'm going to pack up, clear up, sort my stuff out, and then head off back home. Well, I'm all picked up and I'm covered in mud. It is absolutely, this feels like one of the wettest days ever. Just everything, even waterproofs aren't keeping the water out. You know, it's absolutely driving rain. I don't know if you could see it across that paddock, but it's literally coming sideways. I've got to get home and get cleaned up because I've got other things to do now, but it's been good to get out. Yeah, it's been productive and I'm quite happy with that. I mean, like I said, this little area is quite special to me and I want to look after it. And obviously where we were to over here, there's nothing, no trace. So I'm just going to pick my belongings up and I'm heading out of here. So yeah, this is Andy from Hidden Valley Footpaths. You've seen what a person, well, a stupid person does when it's absolutely peeing down. He comes out and tries to help a few old apple trees out. But I suppose there are worse ways to spend your time. But in any case, I'll catch you again and hope to see you guys on the trail. All the best, stay safe. Hello, and just a quick little bonus add-on, I suppose, is that we've just done the school run and I'm walking Bracken. Sometimes I do this, I'll drive through the lanes and actually get to the school, and then my wife will take over and drive back the main road, which is slightly easier for her. She doesn't like driving in these narrow lanes. But I'm going for a little walk and I'm going to have a little look into a very small piece of woodland. I'll take you with me. Bracken's pulling, he wants to crack on, but this is a little bit of a break between the rain. It's just mist at the minute and a very damp feel to it, but I'm under no illusions that I'm going to get possibly soaked by the time I get home. But you know where we got to go. Let's get in here and have a little look. Without me falling over or being pulled over by bracken. Right, let's get underneath here. There. Move this one out of the way. There. Right. There is a trail here. Something or somebody's been coming in and out. It's not a very big woodland and it's not overly spectacular. What it is full of like blackthorn and quite tall ones actually as well, in amongst all this hazel and sycamore. But there is a little old shed that belonged to somebody, or when this did belong to somebody that worked it. And what's interesting, it's an old-fashioned saw. I'll let you have a look. Well, there you go. Look at that saw blade there. That would go through some wood. And I think by the looks of this, even when it was in running order, it was probably a pretty goddamn dangerous machine to operate. But I don't think this is going to be cutting any more wood. This was obviously somebody's piece of land where they would have kept possibly a couple pigs, a few sheep, you know, just to supplement their, I don't know, living. And it would have probably been worked probably 30, 40 years ago. But this hasn't seen, you know, no action. These trees here have to be about 30 years old. I know you might say they're not, but it's so shaded here in this part of the valley, they wouldn't have grown big anyway. Reckon? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? This little hazel tree has got evidence that it's been heavily eaten with deers. All the bark's been stripped off. A lot of the trees in here are like that. That's probably why they're stunted. It's got the usual things you find, like all the rubbish from years gone by. Over here, some more metal work. Here, don't know what that was. Some galvanising under the ground. I think if you ever tried to get this place back again, you'd have to dig down and retrieve all the metal work. You can see it there. Some daffodils. And that's probably deer tracks going into that undergrowth. There's a metal piece of angle iron there, which obviously held possibly wire fence going down to that fence there. So I would suggest that that's probably a boundary where they split it off. There's several other posts going up through. I'm always intrigued by all these small little parcels of land which basically just, you know, just seem to, like, you know, just be in existence with nobody doing anything with them. Obviously, you know, majority of them are technically still viably owned, but you know, there's got to be hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of acres across the UK with just little parcels like this. But you know, it's sad in one way that the land didn't put back to use, but in other ways it does give nature a chance just to do something. So, you know, there's twos and fours against what I'm, you know, thinking in my head, like this would be a nice little piece of land. But yeah, there's no access to it other than where we've came in, and you probably wouldn't get permission to, you know, take the hedge down because it's such a narrow road. So, you know, this land in that effect is probably a bit why it stayed like this. It's worthless in that regard. You got no access to it. You can see how much water is coming down this road. and is coming out of all the rock face, shellet, and basically ground level is about 30-40 feet up there, and you can see all the water leaching out. Right, from this little, what would have been a gateway to a field, we should be able to get out and look across into the valley. I'll come through a bit more. There's a few rabbits running around. You can see that mist. It does look atmospheric, but you just get so wet. Even when it's not raining, everything just gets wet. So that was just a very quick little look around there, and I'm basically going to trudge these lanes to get back home, and he would have had a good little walk. But as soon as I do that, I've then got to go and take a hiking stick to a customer. So, you know, my day's coming to an end here now. So all the best, and as I said previously, hope to catch you guys out on the trail too. Stay safe. Bye.